don't know what glitched in my phone. We're gonna say that that's adjusted. So sorry for the person that was on here and then had to get kicked off because technology is hard. Technology is hard, but we're back now. And you know what? Even if it's just me on here for who knows how long, I'm gonna start talking about my thoughts about Bridgerton. Because Shonda, I've got some words for you. I've got some strong-hearted words for you. And you know what? Maybe I need to hold up. You wait right there because I'm gonna hop on here. I'm gonna see if I can fix some things. Because what on earth was that? What was that? Right, I am live on my channel. Oh, I hate technology so much. Okay, hi, I'm so sorry if you were the person that got kicked out. All right, that's fine. I wish edit. Oh, 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 oh. Just gonna delete this real quick. Oh, my. There was a glitch in my. Hi people, I'm just letting everybody know that there was a glitch in the first live that I made, so now this is a brand new one. I'm going to talk about Bridgerton in a hot second, but God, I hate technology so much. It's a glitch in my initial live, so head over to the one I just started so we can talk about Bridgerton, all spoilers. Okay, fantastic. I see a thumbs up. That is now on the community channel. God, I hate technology. Okay, could you just let me know in the chat if it's okay for us to start discussing what on earth Shonda did yesterday in Bridgerton? Because when it comes to I have so many thoughts. I never write thoughts for a live in my handy dandy notebook, but I had to for this. And you know what? We're going to start off all spoilers all day for the people that are new, that are just joining on here. First of all, let's talk about Penelope. It is amazing how much can change with a little hair and makeup. Not just hair makeup, but specifically for Penelope, hair and outfits. Because when she came out, all spoilers all day, people. So just a heads up. When she first came out in that like jewel tone green gown, obviously everybody was gonna stare. Like, and the fact that her hair wasn't, they really did the Princess Diaries on her. They really tried to turn her, it was the same way they tried to make Anne Hathaway ugly. It was Anne Hathaway regardless, right? Just got rid of the glasses and gave her a supported bra. But like, not that Penelope she was never ugly, but they really did just weigh her down with nonsense. And then as soon as she was just able to like have her hair, have her face, have the right colors, oh God, that yellow. Those yellows and those oranges were the opposite of her colors, and that team knew that. And I understand for the Featheringtons to have to do this. Like for the idea of the Featheringtons to kind of be like, to the people. I understand. But they did her dirty. Also, if anybody on here would like to join in a conversation about Bridgerton, just let me know. And I will figure out how to get you on here so that way we could discuss. Because I'm happy to share my thoughts, but I would also love to discuss with somebody else. Yeah. And like nobody in the Canary Islands really watches Bridgerton anyway. And even if they did, like I'm not really talking to a lot of people here. I don't feel the need to like explore and get to know a whole bunch of folks here. It's not quite my vibe personally. It's beautiful. It's a little too slow for me. That is a story for a whole other live. Anyway, um, Penelope. Penelope is also giving heavy Gemini to me. Heavy Gemini in the best and the worst ways. Heavy Gemini. You really get to see it in the duology between like her. She really gets to put her twin into Lady Whistledown, you know? Um, yeah, she really just put that whole other personality in there. And now she's comfortable just sitting on her own. And for those of you who have seen, I mean, ideally that's all of you because spoiler alerts on spoiler alerts. I actually liked the guy. I liked that blonde guy. Like he was quirky enough, not quirky, he was like idiosyncratic enough to stand on his own as an individual character. You know how sometimes when they like introduce a love interest, not necessarily in the Shonda universe, but like when people introduce a love interest, it's like they don't have a fully rounded personality. They're not really fully there. They're only there in the scope of like that one person. But this guy entered in with like an entire world around him, right? Like, yeah, he was rich and all of that, but also like he had passions, he had like things to do. He had a life. He had a life, which was really nice to see in a character. And I do see a world in which he and Penelope could have actually fallen in love. I think they could have. But Colin Bridgerton, and I understand the Shonda effect. I understand it is like something, it is like magic, it is like poison, it is like, it needs to be bottled and sold in grocery stores near us. I'm telling you, if Walmart could mass produce the Shonda effect, it's for the best. It's for the best that it's not mass produced because the men be men. And Colin Bridgerton, listen, listen. I'm not going to talk about the carriage scene. I'm not going to talk about the carriage scene because we all know about the carriage scene. If you know, you know. Spoilers on spoilers, people, for those who are new here. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I would love to know your thoughts on this. I don't think that he groveled enough to earn Penelope after all of the seasons of like not necessarily diminishing, but like sweeping her to the side. I don't think that he did enough. I wanted to see him on all fours. I wanted to see him weeping in a puddle in front of her. I want to see, you know, that picture of the challengers where that little blonde man, his head is in Zendaya's hands, and she's like leaning on top of the bed. He like his body's off the bed, but he's like on it and like towards her, and his head is in her hands, and he's just looking like the saddest little puppy man. I needed that to be Colin. I needed to see that in Colin. And I think if somebody in the comment section of one of my community posts was like, if we gave them 2 more episodes. No, it was on my TikTok. It was on my TikTok. But if Shonda gave us an extra 2 episodes, we could have got there. We could have got there. We could have seen him writhe in painful desire. That's what I needed to see. I needed to see him be unwell for Penelope. I wanted to see the look of anemia on him with desire. And we didn't get there. We did not get there. Oh, wait a minute. What's happening here? Oh, nope, we're fine. Okay. We didn't get there, and I don't know if we can turn back the clock. I don't know if we could turn back the clock. I don't know, because she, once again, spoilers. She already, oh, sorry, I'm getting messages from work. She already said yes. They're already engaged, you know? And I understand that he was like, there was all this like itching and longing and burning. Not like he was an itchy person, but like an internal itch. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. That's so nice. Whatever. I wanted more. We deserved more. Anthony Bridgerton season 2, that man was unwell. He was giving anemia. He was giving anemia. But no, no. And you know what? Okay, so speaking of Anthony Bridgerton, and also if like anybody on here would like to discuss some of the Bridgertons, let me know in the comment section, and I'll try to like, however I can, I'll try and bring somebody in to like this conversation if you want to go back and forth with like some ideas and stuff. Please just let me know. But I'm really happy with the way that because I don't think that Anthony and Kate were written out of the show so much as their characters were given a break, because they have been the parents for so long. They've had to take care of everything for everyone else for so long. And they deserve an extended honeymoon. And they deserve wild sex for like, you know, to make an heir or two. Like, listen. Also, can we just have a brief conversation? Could we just have a brief conversation for those of you who, spoilers, okay? For the people that saw that scene when they were laying in bed getting ready to canoodle the noodle. But actually there was no noodle activity. That man was in between her. And that was a throwback to Anthony's season. That was a throwback to Anthony and Kate's season. That look that he had in she's like, that's not how you make babies. And I said, girl. And he said, but it's necessary for the process. And I said, that's a man right there. That is a grown man right there. And I appreciate Shonda for giving us that moment of a throwback, because I know that if you saw season 2, that's ingrained in our minds. That rent free right up here. But we're going to take that and we're going to put that in a quick little corner. Why? Because Kate, an iconic Virgo woman, if I ever say so myself. She does give Aquarius rising also. And Anthony, who gives Capricorn. He gives Capricorn. Those little earth signs need some time alone. They need to shed their responsibilities and all that structure and order and just go be feral with each other. I love that for them. I love that for them. I do also appreciate Kate's dress. Kate's dress was really pretty. It was different, but it was also very pretty. I just can't get over the lack of feralness. But you know what I can forgive? I can forgive the lack of feralness because of Francesca. Colin is a silly scone with a that's a dull boring scone. I mean, like, Colin is fine. Colin is fine. I think that we all could have grown more invested in Colin if we saw him writhe with desire for Penelope. The ramping up was just starting. Like, you got to see little pieces of it with how people would come in and then they would say, oh, you know, like, you did such a good job with like teaching Penelope how to flirt. Oh, like, you're such a good friend. Oh, your friendship is the best. Like, when people started mentioning the friendship thing to Colin, we started to see a little bit more. He started to have like a little bit more something than just like the silly scone. He started to become a little more than he started to gain some layers. He started to gain a little grit to him, you know? And I think that those flavors just needed more time to develop. If they had more time to develop into making us see him be unwell for Penelope, then I think this wouldn't be the situation. And as fun as the carriage scene was, I wanted more. And maybe we'll get more in the other half, but like, I wanted more. I wanted to feel like he deserved to touch her. That's what I wanted, because I don't feel like he deserved it yet. I don't think he deserved it yet. And yeah, I get it. She still likes him. And yeah, he finally realized that like she's somebody to be desired, right? Nah. But that other guy genuinely liked her from the beginning. And sure, like he would have been gone for a while, and yeah, she would have had to run an estate, but she would have had her freedom, which was the thing that she kept saying that she wanted. She wanted her freedom. She would have gotten her freedom. And I do think that they would have fallen in love at some point. Now, do I think that Penelope specifically, because she already is experiencing, I don't know if it's love, but definitely infatuation with Colin, like she already had that idea in her mind, and then it got in the, I think it got in the way. I think it got in the way of her being able to like see this other guy as a legitimate suitor. And even her mom. Now listen, the Featherington ladies outside, 3 years is too long of a time. 3 years is far too long of a time. Like 3 years of just yearning for a man who don't want you. Personally, thoughts and prayers. Personally, could never. But like I just and technically, if we're being there, like this is the pick me's dream come true, right? To just be wishing, wanting, hoping for a man, and then, oh, that's how long he'll be gone. Oh yeah, he would be gone for 3 years because it's a year to go, and then he'd stay for a year, and then it'd be a year to come back. That is a long time. That is a long time. I will give you that. Forgot about that for a second. Yeah. Like it'd be an unconventional life for sure. The book is worse. 12 years a year. 12 years yearning for a man who don't want you. I didn't read the books. Personally. And I'm happy that I didn't read the book so that way I could not be absolutely appalled and ashamed of Penelope. Because now listen, if she was like 7 years old and she was, been long since she was, yeah, the book was worse, but it's my favorite book in the series. Yeah, I didn't miss that. Okay. Since she debuted. Okay, but like she was only out for what, 3 years? Like this was her 3rd year out. This is her 3rd year out. So like that's a little bit better. Personally, I think that's a little bit better than 12. It's a yearning for a man. I just, and I understand it's a different time. Women were not necessarily allowed to like do what they wanted to do. And if they did do what they wanted to do and pursued their passions in the way they wanted, then they would end up like Eloise. Like I get it. Also, can we discuss how I think they're positioning Eloise to be a queer character? Like, I only saw a part of the first season. I was very uninterested in the first season. I was uninterested in the beginning, and then I was made uncomfortable shortly after I was uninterested. And then I said, there's too many questions about consent in this first season for me to watch it and not be disgusted all the way through. So I just put Bridgerton so far away for the longest time. But what I do remember in that first season was that they were positioning Benedict to be, I think she's queer. I think no, that's exactly what I'm getting ready to say. So like they were positioning Benedict to be the queer character, and then they just let that go. But then if we're looking at what happened in the couple episodes recently, Eloise's relationship with, it's not Clarissa. It's not what's her name? I think it's the Crawford. You know who I'm talking about, the tall, skinny, blonde lady. That's position. It looks like friendship. It looked like friendship in the beginning, but it started Cressida. Thank you. Oh, I knew it. It was right there. Yes. It was starting to come off as friendship, but then it started to grow into like, I was like, this isn't just giving friendship to me anymore. And I was talking to my best friend about this because, you know, like the calling hour is a big deal, especially when you're like out and in the season. Mess of the storyline if they went with the crew. But listen, I never read the books. I don't even know how far Shonda has strayed or stayed stayed the course when it comes to the books. I'm just reporting what I see. And all I'm seeing is just a little bit of I'm just seeing a little bit of And I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. And you know who else wouldn't be mad at it? Lady Bridgerton, the Viscountess. I don't think she would be mad at it. Why? Because I think that she just genuinely wants to see her kids in love. Like, that's literally the only thing that she cares about. She's like, okay, I'm going to assume that whoever you fall in love with has money. But as long as you know the joys of love, like you and like I and your father knew, run off, have fun, have so much sex. Like, if we just really take a hot moment in Anthony's season, season 2, at the very end, when he and Kate are just making out, feeling all up on each other after they were married and everybody's playing pal mal and they're just making, if we think about it in the social context back then, they might as well have been just, you know, they might just, I missed. But like, that's basically what they were doing in front of the family. Have they no decorum? But they don't. And all that mother and the families, it's all just giving, so much love. I love love. And like, even when it came to her, what was it? Right. And like, even when it came to what's her face? Oh my God. When Viscountess Bridgerton, also, the way that she was making those eyes at Homegirl's brother, at Lady Danbury's brother, back when she was talking about her garden is in bloom. But here's the danger, he's bald. I don't trust a bald. Never in my life have I trusted a bald. I tried, and they have led everything that they have tried to grow astray. And now this woman, this angel, saw that, making those eyes, and he looks like trouble. And the Viscountess said also, you're like trouble. He's like, oh, well, I'm here and I'm letting my heart lead. She's like, is your heart in your loins? In your breeches, I think is exactly what she said. She knows her brother is bald. Listen, personally, let me just explain, because I have received a lot of hate about my theories about balds. Lots of Medea's ruined the balds for me. Listen. Also, that first Medea movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, that was, you know what, let's include him in my overall theory. I literally made an entire PowerPoint about this at New Year's that I have on my page. I'm gonna see if I could link it once I post this, right? So here's my theory on the balds. I call them the balds. Also, the balds love me. My best friend is convinced that I'm gonna marry a bald, and I said, I thought you loved me. Like, I would never say something horrible to you. Like, you might as well say, Shayna, I hope you break all 3 of your ankles. And I'll say, I only have 2. And then you'll say, just break an extra one because I thought you loved me. Anyway, about the balds. I've never met a responsible bald. I've never met a responsible bald, specifically under the age of 55. All of the responsible balds that I know are older than 55. Not to say that they're cruel automatically, not to say that they are cold-hearted automatically, not to say any of those things. I'm just saying I've never met a responsible bald man. And I have a very good friend who has been dying for me to meet his husband, right? And he's like, Shayna, my husband is the most responsible man I've ever met, and he's bald. And I'm like, you've never introduced me to him. We threw a party at my house, and he never, thank you. They gave me trust. That's exactly what I'm saying. If your hairline doesn't trust you, why should I? If your body cannot trust you if they flee from you, why should I remain? I'm just asking questions. Once again, I'm happy to be proven wrong, but nobody has proven me wrong. So here I am. And then that angel of a woman in that show gets approached by a bald. Listen, my family is from the West Indies. I know what my balds look like. I know what all balds look like. It doesn't even matter where he's from. And I've never met a man from Sierra Leone. But I know he's bald. And I know that that's way too close to Nigeria. And every Nigerian man that I've met has been chaos. I do know a Nigerian bald. Oh, no. Listen, if you haven't seen it yet, don't be here. Come back. I'm going to post this later. And then you can watch and then we can discuss. I'm half Haitian too. My mom is Jamaican. My dad is Haitian. The balds, you take, it's literally just an added layer. The hair that they lack, it does something. The lack of cranial protection and the UV light directly into the cranium, it does something to the neurons that just throws it off, It does something terrible. Listen, I would love for you I really don't want to spoil the series for you because it is the first 4 episodes. I think that Shonda's been doing some really interesting stuff on Listen. I don't want to spoil anything. So you go do that and then come back. And then come back. Oh, hey everybody, I'm Fish, coming a bit more on this channel. Oh, hi, and tuning in channel. Hello chat, love your cup. Oh, thank you. Very happy to see you guys here. No, you're good. I didn't know that your name was Fish. You learn one new thing every day. Now, once again, if everybody here is gathered, has seen the most recent 4 episodes of Bridgerton, we're gonna continue. Can't lie, I wouldn't trust a Nigerian. Okay. I'm gonna get back to the Bridgerton stuff, but now I have to share my bald Nigerian story. So, I was living in Barcelona last year. And I'm in the process of moving back there now. It's a whole thing. But while I was over there, I'm an extroverted person, so I talk to strangers all of the time, right? So one of the strangers that I made friends with, her name is Dominique, and she introduced me to a bunch of her friends. And so we met all in she had a little house party, right? And she was like, Shayna, I'm really excited for you to meet my friend Larry. And I was like, why? And at this point, I'd already told her, nor should you look at the baldies. So I'd already told her my theory about the balds, and she thought it was hilarious. And she was like, Shayna, he's bald. And I was like, yeah, nobody's perfect, right? So I meet Larry, he starts talking, and I'm like, are you Nigerian? And then this man who, it's not just he sounds Nigerian, but he looks it and all that, he's a very Nigerian man. And he proceeds to say, no, I'm Canadian. And I'm like, are you Nigerian? And he goes, okay, well, yeah, but I'm from Canada. And I was like, I'm from the United States, but I know when we're first gen. You can't. I had a bald Nigerian. This is exactly what I'm saying. So listen, Vivi, I don't know if you heard what I said earlier. Bald, automatically irresponsible. Do I have studies actually, I do have scientific studies to prove that. I did a PowerPoint I presented my theories on bald men for New Year's for a bunch of my friends. I'm just putting that out there. I think that I'm the one who, yes, body titties, tittying. I said Penelope Featherington, ma'am. It was giving. I'm so happy that she did. We'll go back to the balds, I promise. But Penelope's change of outfits this season. There was like a gentle change to the silhouette where the bust was a little different and it also contoured her body a little bit different. And I said, ma'am, okay. Like it made sense that everybody was like staring and gawking without question. You can comment taking collagen supplements. Right. Like there are ways, like if you are going to be bald, there are things that you can do to not. There are more men now on social media that have been, and gotta catch up on some stuff. But like there are more men now on social media that are showing ways that they are using natural supplements to grow their hair back. It's giving responsible. The men, and not just men, but like baldness or like losing hair different, whether it's alopecia, whether it's like hormonal things, like there are women that also lose their hair too. And you see that they take responsibility and they say, you know what, I'm a figure this out. And they are diligent and they do the whatever it is that they do every day consistently. They do like, it's given responsible. If you are bald under the age of 55, what is your excuse other than irresponsibility? I'm just saying I might say some nonsense, but I will never tell you a lie. That's all. I'm gonna catch up on some comments. Way Nigerian men can fabric. I'm gonna get back to my bald Nigerian. You know what? Before I forget it, here's the rest of the bald Nigerian story. So basically, we're at this house party, and I then share, I didn't want to share, but Dominique was like, oh my God, Shana, you have to share your theory about bald men. And I'm sitting right next to my bald man, right? And he goes, do you have a theory about bald men? And I go, yeah, I think you're inherently irresponsible. Entire table goes quiet. Understandably so. And then the women at the table just look at me and they go, why would you say this, Shana? I'm like, I just haven't met a responsible bald man yet. And then he's like, well, you know what? You've met me. And I was like, well, I don't really know you. Can you tell me a little bit more about your relationships with women? And the way that this man started to, the amount of women that this man was seeing right now, all these women thinking that they were seeing him individually, but he said, I didn't tell them that I was in a relationship. I said that we were in what was it? It wasn't a situationship and it wasn't a relationship. He had another phrase for it that made him feel better about playing all these women. And I just let him talk. I just let him talk. And then I turned and I looked at the other women on the table and they looked at me and they said, and they go, we left that party and everybody at that table, if they did not hold it as truth, they at least have it ringing in their ear. Bald equals irresponsible. Now, did his Nigerianness magnify the bald, or did the bald magnify the Nigerianness? I do not know. I do not know. That is a 301 level course that I have not created at this point. But I want us all to really think about these kinds of things the next time we see a bald and they try to talk. Somebody needs to save the Viscountess. Somebody needs to save the Viscountess from that bald. Because I cannot believe that he's up to, and he's a very good looking man, but I cannot believe that he is up to anything good. Oh God, there's so much to catch up on. So sorry, catching up, costume design. So like I personally do not have the like details for how to regrow hair when it comes to whether it's like alopecia, different kinds of alopecia or all of that. But on TikTok, there's so many people that are documenting their hair growth journeys, either from traction alopecia. I think alopecia might be if it's just a genetic kind of thing, I think it might be a little, I don't know. Personally, I don't know. But when it comes to like male pattern baldness and things, there are men actively documenting their journey to having a full combable head of hair. So you tell that to another another excuse-making bald that comes your way. Just putting that out there. I think a chance. Okay. Okay, I hear you on Morris Chestnut. I would also love to believe that he's responsible. I would love to believe that he's responsible. I also just don't know if a man that beautiful with a voice that silky makes good decisions. I just don't know. I don't know. There would be too many things going right. There'd be too many things that have to fall into place. The Lord would truly have to have a favorite. And I do not want to believe that his favorite could be a man. I just don't want to believe that. There's too many good women out there. And Morris Chestnut, what a beautiful specimen. You know what? No, he's bald and we need to talk to his wife. That's something else that I mentioned in my PowerPoint. I've had bald men come up to me and like at some point be like, hey, like I'm responsible. And I'm like, I don't know you, one, and two, why would I take your own letter of recommendation? And don't send another man my way to ooga at me. Like, I want to hear a woman that is close to you tell me that you're responsible. Where's your sister? Where's your wife? Because moms are kind of hit or miss. Moms are kind of hit or miss, especially when you get like the whole like boy mom thing to like come into purview. I'm like, I don't know, but a sister will tell you something every single time. Bald problem. Oh, and hey Turi. Oh, I'm telling you, it's an autoimmune disease. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't answer you for that one. Can't answer you for that one. We don't know if he's the unicorn. We don't know if he's the unicorn. We need to find his wife. And yes, I understand. It's already a green flag. I'm saying it's like a greenish yellow flag that he has had his wife for as long as he has had. I say greenish yellow because just because a relationship has longevity doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. And that's even harder to do when it's in the spotlight, right? Like I look at Denzel Washington, and he and his wife have been through it. Like through like not I don't know the insides of their, but they've just been in this for a long time. And I go, okay. Am I slightly more likely to believe that his relationship might be a little bit more stable because he has hair? I don't know. I don't know. Does that make me toxic? I don't know. But also, and this is something that I'm like still kind of up in the air about, because when it comes to the balds, I think that there's a couple different layers of bald, right? Like there's the bald by genetic default. Your body has an issue with you, right? There's that bald. Then there's the bald by choice, which I don't know. Like, it's one thing to be like patchy, they're like fading a little bit, and then but I'm like, you're balding. You're on your way to just bald, right? But then for somebody to have a full head of hair and shave it off, something about that don't sit right with me. It's giving a warning. It's giving Paul Revere just screaming the British are coming, and it makes my tummy uneasy, because why would you do that? Especially if you had a good head of hair. What are you trying to tell me? But then there's also the work balds, right? Which basically what I interpret it as is they are responsible on the job. They're responsible 9 to 5. But then as soon as that 5 hits, they just throw that hair, put it in a corner, and are irresponsible to the world. And I don't know which one is worse. I'm just putting that out there. I'm telling you, I'm onto something. It just, the wives know, sisters know. Depending on the daughter, she might say cousins know. Ooh, wife, sister, cousin. There you go. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. He has no scandals like that with the other black men. I'm just saying. There's Just let me have. Okay, listen. You are allowed. You are allowed to believe that Morris Chestnut is the unicorn. He is the exception to the rule. I don't want to ruin that for you. I'm not even saying that he is a bald problem. Who am I to say? I don't know Morris. Morris, if you come across this live, Morris, this isn't for anybody else. This is just for Morris Chestnut. Hey, Morris. Hey, Mo. I want you to know that I hope that you are responsible. And if you would not mind putting me in contact with your wife for like 5 minutes, it'd be greatly appreciated. That's all I have to say. Okay, now everybody else can come back into the chat. Here you go. So let me have this one. She doesn't look just like the other. Remind me of the lesson my dad taught me in decentering mention. Oh, thank you. See, and I personally believe, going back, like just tapping into the decentering men kind of conversations, I think that what I say, I've had men more so now than before, which is fascinating, approach me when it comes to what I say and agree with me. Like, what I'm saying isn't wrong, and I don't think that what I'm saying is defamatory or negative to men that are doing the work. I don't think that what I'm saying is mean or cruel. It might be direct, but I don't think that, like, and it's interesting having men, because I'm seeing more men in my comments, and mind you, it's nowhere near as much as like femmes and women, right? And also, if a day comes when I post a video and then I wake up one day and it is just like hundreds of comments of men saying, yeah, I agree with this. Wow, this lady knows what I'm talking about. I know I've made a wrong turn. I know something has gone horribly awry. I know that I've said something and now I'm in Boogaville and I'm sorry, I don't know what happened and I can't find my passport. Like, but that day has not arrived. The day has not arrived. Praise him. So I lost my train of thought. We're gonna continue on. Sure. She's put through the ringer. Listen, I don't know. I already had my shout out to her. She's more than welcome. You can hit my line. You can hit my line. There's the most conversations truly are good. Listen, I am loving this kind of discourse. And a day is coming when I'm gonna figure out how to have somebody like on the bottom half of the screen so that way we can just talk. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. And as soon as I do that, we could all chat. That would be great. Didn't say that women shave their heads were crazy. I never said that. Yes, they do say that. Also, can we just have a quick moment to discuss when women shave their heads? I've never met a woman with a shaved head who wasn't an absolute baddie. Like, there's something, if you can pull off a fully shaved head, it's giving body tea, you know? Like, for a brief moment, not fully shaved, but I did like shave my sides and I had a little bit up top and it was cute for like 3 weeks. Then it started to grow. My hair grows really fast. So then it started to grow out and I kid you not, I look like the Jackson 5 members because titties aren't titties. Listen, they're doing great now. They're doing great. It's doing great now. It was giving prepubescent Jackson 5 when I was in college, though. That was a hard time, but it's okay. It's okay. It's giving now. Anyway, definitely not time. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think I'm hilarious also. And definitely in it, most are responsible. Yes, they are. My cousins are a prime example of the fact that cousins know for sure. I also have far too many cousins. And I say this whenever somebody on here said that they were also Haitian. I just want to gently put out there, if you're Haitian, you're probably related to me. If you're Dominican, you're probably related to me. The men in my family are Rolling Stones, especially the older generations. And I have found cousins, I have found siblings, they're all over. And sometimes the only thing that connects us is we look at them and we go, got the family face. Now here's where things get dangerous, right? Linking it back to the balds. Here's where things get dangerous. My father, who arguably, it's not that he's irresponsible, is not the right term. My dad is an enigma. He is, and I've said this before, he is the human manifestation of King Julian from Madagascar, but Haitian. My dad comes from a very wealthy family. He does not understand consequences. He also doesn't do things maliciously. But he's also not bald. And I can't even say he gives bald, because there is no concept of responsibility. There's no concept of consequence. He just King Julian's all over the place. Like, why are you throwing shit on my walls? And he's like, anyway. My dad's side of the family has a lot of cousins, and the cousins know all the tea, and they are more than happy to share the tea with whoever wants to know. If you're in the Morris just not, can I go be? Oh my goodness, I need to catch up. I'm so sorry. In fact, my Haitian, right. You can create a Discord server to connect with everyone personally. Oh, listen, I'm terrible with technology. I just figured out how to use YouTube, and now you want me to figure out Discord? I can't. I'm gonna overwhelm myself. I cry a little bit. Don't know what that means. The King Julian thing. If you don't know what the King Julian, just picture a chaotic, privileged. King Julian's technically like a lemur. He's giving like Zaboomafoo, but just chaos, just human. Objectively, my father is hilarious to observe from a distance. You don't want to get too close; you'll get shit on you. But like, yeah, I think that kind of covers it. But people who don't understand consequences don't need malice to do that. Right? There's no cruelty in my dad doesn't do things to hurt people. But do the balds. I feel like there needs to be an entire discussion on the theory of bald, on the concept of baldness, of a bald spirit, if you will. What does it mean to be bald? That's going to be another live. I will let you guys know when that live is going to be scheduled, because that's going to be a live that I'm going to do with somebody. Yeah, because that can't just be me on here. I've shared this theory with too many people that I know to have this discussion solo, because of a spiritual baldness, so a baldness in Christ, if you will. Bald Christ. Sorry. I'm back. It is alarming. It is concerning. Now, mind you, Jesus was not bald. No, he was not. He's always pictured. Mind you, he also wasn't white either, but he was not bald. Just keep that in mind. When my father died, narrowed down the range of kids to listen. I don't know what the range is for my. I supposedly have like a 9-year-old sister somewhere. No, but we're trying to find her and her mom, but who knows? Bald spirit indeed. If you come across a booga, hair or not, but you get the feeling that internally they are bald. I think that we need to have this is what I'm talking about. It needs to be an entire other, it needs to be researched. I'm a do a whole thing. I might even get like one of those little whiteboards, so that way I could write things out and connect the lines, because there's so many ways to be bald. And this is not to say that people with hair are not problems, but I don't think that the problems are directly correlated to irresponsibility. A bald booga. That Nigerian man, bald booga, I will not be using his government name on here. A bald booga. Jesus. People are married to bald boogas. Ew. Oh my God. Oh, that's terrifying. Shannon, I'm gonna write a whole dissertation on baldness. It's gonna be, that's all I want. That's all I want. Thank you for saying that, Fish. Like, I have always told myself that I want to be known for ridiculous things. Absolutely ridiculous things. Like, it was a year ago that, and I didn't start like writing about like beverage really until like relatively recently, but it was just like for little publications. And I told my friend, I'm gonna be an international wine writer. And she said, okay. And now I'm an international wine writer in the Canary Islands. And I go, yeah, that sounds ridiculous enough to be right. And now, thank you for giving me this next level dream, because I think I want to write a dissertation. I want a TED Talk on baldness. That feels right. I want to be asked to do a TED Talk initially on whatever I want. I want to be able to do a TED Talk on whatever I want to do. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to do a TED Talk on spiritual baldness. And then the conference committee is going to go, excuse me. I say, I said what I said. Take it or leave it. And then they say, oh my God, Shannon, we need you at this conference. And I say, that's right. Slide one. Yes. Oh man, I see that so clearly. I see that so clearly. And I also see my mom at the front row sighing so deeply. But also my stepdad is one of the many balds that, and I made this theory long before she left my stepdad, but another bald, irresponsible man. Bald and irresponsible. Just one of many, one in a bucket, if you will. Oh man, there needs to be some deep research. That's all I'm saying. Arguably, I've already started this research. I'm just putting it out. I'm just saying some of the research may or may not already be out there. I encourage everybody to say booga, ooga booga. I am also encouraged, and I'm probably gonna make a video about this another day, about what does it mean to hear ooga booga. Like we joke about it, but like I want people when men do that thing, oh, it's not words, it's not sentences, it's not a thing that makes sense, it's just booga. It's just booga. What do you bring to the table? Booga booga booga. I thought we all spoke a common language. In France, I thought we all speak French. Why are you talking to me in booga? We didn't learn that at primary school. Now, is it fair to say that men who speak booga are bilingual? No. In fact, I think that their booga eats away at the initial language that they are taught. So arguably, they're not even monolingual. They might be 0.72 lingual. Listen, it's science. Don't be mad at me. I'm just saying. Okay, but what is the percentage of men? But given what percentage of men are problems, how do you know if the problem is the hair or the maleness? And you see, this is what I'm talking about. Now we've got our thinking caps on. All right. Because I don't necessarily think that maleness equals irresponsibility. I don't necessarily think that. I do think that there is a level of discipline required in maleness that combats the pull, the almost oceanic pull towards irresponsibility. There is okay, I need to understand, and it manifests differently. Everybody needs to understand who they are. But there is a pull towards irresponsibility that I find a lot of men struggle with. And if they just let themselves go into that, that's when they really start to dive into baldness. Really just drown in baldness. And I wouldn't wish that on somebody that I loved. Now listen, once again, It's all coming together. Listen, you know who's bald? Babies. Babies are bald. Now hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Babies don't got no hair. Hear me out though. Some of them do have like some fuzzies all over, right? But babies are bald. They just got here. They don't understand what responsibilities are. Thus, they are irresponsible. And then they grow. And then they are taught discipline, structure, order, art, family structure. They're taught responsibilities. This is how you put your clothes away. This is how you eat your food. Put your thing in the sink. They're taught little tiny things. Did you do your homework? And guess what? They all grow hair. They all grow hair. And then something goes awry. Something goes awry. And then all of a sudden, follicles start falling out. And we have to wonder, does it start up here or does it start in here? Where does baldness really start in the body? These are the kind of questions we really need to be asking ourselves. Watching. I'm just here with some thoughts and questions. Please don't choke. Please don't choke. Also, I think you typed that you were choking earlier. Please don't. Is saying there will be a correlation problem. Only you can do. What about bald women? We already talked about bald women. We already had that discussion. That was earlier in here. Yeah. I would love to have a conversation with a bald woman on camera so that way we could discuss woman baldness, because I don't think that it's the same. I don't think that it's the same. No. You're gonna trigger these boogas even more than I do that already. It's fine. But once again, I haven't been proven wrong. I don't mind triggering people if I'm right. I'm loud and right. It'd be a problem if I was loud and wrong. If I was loud and wrong, then I would feel shame, concern about what I'm putting onto the internet. But here I am. Once again, if somebody wants to prove me wrong, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm open. I'm open. Is what I'm saying. I have to get ready for work by late. Okay, bye. Oh my goodness, what time is it where everybody is? It's like, it's almost my bedtime actually. It's 11 p.m. where I'm at, so I'm probably gonna be heading out too. You have to do this. The title for this video is Bridgerton. Okay, I'm gonna change the title of this to Bridgerton and Baldness because it was a very smooth transition. It was a very smooth transition into because there's a bald in Bridgerton, and God, he is giving bald. We should all be concerned. But when you say ooga, oh, thank you. When you speak, they speak their own absolutely. Slave them. Yeah, they do. Involved. Yay! I'm happy that you guys are enjoying this conversation. I'm loving this. A conundrum indeed. Okay, I have to put my phone to eat later because I don't want to. What? This is a hot take. Want to receive responsibility because they take them. Listen, man, I really can't have you choking on this live. I really cannot have you dying on this live. I don't have an emergency contact for you. And I know people like come in and out of a live all the time, and I can't, there'd be nobody to notify. Please don't. Not the baby. I'm just saying. If somebody can prove me wrong, I'm just saying. Bald men are baby. Bald men. Ooh, hold up. Bald men are babies. It's so simple. Yet profound. They have referred it, but you can't lose information. You can lose information. It just leaks out of their ears. They lose the information through their hair. My God. Have we come to the conclusion? It's one of many conclusions, though. Bald men are babies. Do they lose their responsibility through their hair and then revert back into the infant, but now they're just tall, but they're still stinky and don't know how to wipe their ass? Is that really where how we have full circled, and then they just become bigger babies if they happen to like lose their memory and get too old. I mean, most men do not live very, very old. I will say my grandfather, it does have, my grandpa is doing very well. Oh, no, no, he's not. I take that back. Should definitely be a comedian. Hey, listen, personally, I'd be down for it. I got jokes on jokes. I don't know. Listen, if you guys have a hookup for me or something, but also I'm in the Canary Islands, I'll be back in the New York area in like a couple of weeks. Baldwin or babies, king babies, another YouTube. Oh yeah, king babies. That's Melanie. Melanie's a good friend of mine. If anybody's here, not following her, go follow her. Oh man, 6 p.m. That sounds like a sane time to be doing things. 3 p.m. California. Oh my gosh, there's so many people from everywhere. Hey guys. Hey guys. And tell you something about them. They're usually highly intelligent, but having an autoimmune disease problem, probably for their proximity to males. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do want to make a distinction, and I make this distinction in my Are Bald Men Irresponsible scientific study. That's actually what it's called on my YouTube channel. I do make this case in there. Excuse me. I do think that there needs to be a slight distinction for men who are bald and men who have like medical disorders, whether that is alopecia or cancer or things like that, like things that can cause baldness that are outside of just like being bald. If you have like I know men that have alopecia. Interestingly enough, I know 2 men who have alopecia. No eyebrows, no nothing. One is an excellent father. Excellent father, doting husband. I love him. I talk to his wife consistently. His wife and my mom are very good friends. I have many a mom friend. He's a good husband. He is a medical bald. He's a medical bald, and I don't consider that with the balds. I barely consider he's got a medical disorder. That is a good man. That's a good man, Savannah. And then there's another guy who I know who's a family friend, and he's been working really hard. It took him some time to get his degree. He finally got his degree. He's doing responsible. He's a responsible young man. From what I can see, he's a responsible young man. And his younger sister, who I'm relatively close with, can vouch for him. Medical situation, not a bald. I wouldn't consider him a bald because it's a medical situation. If it wasn't for that medical situation, I'm sure they'd have a hair down to their kneecaps. Maybe their kneecaps would even have hair. I'm just saying. I don't think that that's their problem. This is the first time catching your live. Oh, thank you. Anytime. Oh, we got the UK in here. Whoop whoop. It hits different when the conversation is coming from one's perspective, but I like it. Hey, live cannot revelations. Didn't mean to derail, just went on a bit of a Diddy. Oh no, I did see that video about Diddy and Cassie. I did see that earlier today. That was, and isn't he like just chilling in Miami? Somebody needs to get him. Oh God. Oh my gosh, did I catch up to? Finally caught up. I'll have to check out that video. Yes, please do. Love it for all the best female commentators. Right. At some point, I would love to. I'm gonna reach out to Mel and see if she would like to have like a discussion at some point. Could be about baldness. Don't go to her channel and tell her that we need to talk about baldness though. We'll talk about something else. Referring to the women who are bald. Oh, okay. Any type of baldness from alopecia. Right, there's many kinds. There's many kinds of alopecia. I'm just saying that bald men. Yeah, I think we're all saying the same thing. It's been hilarious. Thank you so much, Shana. To go. I'm so sorry. It's all right. You do what you gotta do. I've seen you in another chat. Oh, we're getting hit on. In another chat. Things are getting spicy over there. I I'm probably gonna go to bed. I'm feeling a little stinky right now. And see y'all now with your jokes. Yeah, oh, I love her little ukulele and her puppy and her little pup. Oh, man, I need to visit her at some point. I'm like close, but also not close. The Canary Islands is very far from France. Did I ever respond to? I gotta check my, I don't know. I need to check my phone. I need to check all of my notifications. I'm very behind on responding to a lot of things and people. ADHD. I am going to have a great night. Oh, thank you, everybody. This has been truly delightful. I didn't get to share all of my Bridgerton thoughts, but I think that this conversation went exactly where it needed to go. So thank you. Thank you for the space and for the wonderful conversation. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna remember how to turn this off. I do.